Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network tonight. We are here at the biggest oval track that we go to, the Talladega Superspeedway, 2.66 miles of high-banked, white-knuckle, just flat-to-the-floor racing here for the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA Series. And then there were two races left in this season. The time for trying to decide a champion is very close. We need to try and figure this out and figure it out very soon. But it doesn't seem like either of our top two drivers want to figure it out. Is the problem? And I believe we finally have the Pocono race input. We do, I believe. So I think the standings are correct, and if so, the standings are this. It is Dalton Kilroe leading Andrew Paleschi by 4 points with 2 races to go. So it is extremely, extremely tight. Maxwell Caldwell in third, 73 points back. Robert Kahn in fourth, 76 points back. And then Mike Casey in the top 5 there, 97 points back. But it's really been all Kilroe and Paleschi. That's been the talk of the second half of the season for sure, how close they've been this entire season. 2,072 laps for Dalton Kilroe, 2,075 laps for Andrew Paleschi. And everything is just close between them. The only thing it's not close is the wins. Kilroe's got 5, Paleschi's got 1, and we've talked to Paleschi plenty of times because he just cracks those top 3s, those podiums, night in, night out. But you kind of get the feeling that he would love to grab a win here to end the season, whether it be tonight or maybe the season ender next week at, I believe it is Kansas, if I'm not mistaken. I got to take a look now. And it's not working here for me, of course. But yeah, it is definitely going to come all the way down to the wire at Dover next week, even better, as we've seen a pretty good race last night at Dover. Yep. But unless one of these drivers has a big mistake here tonight, it will come down to Dover next week. Carl and we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, it's time to go racing here at the big Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, let's go racing, boys. This is what they call the crapshoot, stay together, don't lose the draft, be patient. We got plenty of laps out there tonight, and you got to survive to the finish. So only one fast pair in the bucket, and hopefully we'll see some green flag pit stops. That's where, if this thing can go that long, we'll really kind of spread out the field just a little bit, depending on people's expertise in pitting, and that could be the call here for some of these drivers. Obviously, all these drivers will be out here tonight. There's no cutoff or anything, and they're just fighting maybe for a point here on the pole. So maybe you'll see. I don't think it points for. I just was looking at the points situation too, like what they were. P1 is 43 points, P2 is 42 points, P3 41, and 40, 39, etc. Drivers that lead a lead lap under green or caution will receive 1 bonus point. And winning driver.
Anything for qualifying. Yeah, but certainly that 1 point for 1 point for the leading a lap. Mm-hmm. I'm sure both of our championship competitors just want to both get up there and lead a lap, just to kind of cancel that out for each other. And see how that goes. We take a look back earlier in the season. We did already run Talladega early on, back on May 1st. And it was Tyler Hilton getting it done there at Talladega. And then early on, actually, I think this was that was a previous season, so we didn't run Daytona for this season. So Talladega early on the season is what we got to go off of, and it was a win for Tyler Hilton. So we'll see who's got the hot shoe tonight to get it done. And certainly Tyler Hilton would love to go back-to-back here at Talladega, but it's never easy. It's never easy going back-to-back top 5s at Talladega or Daytona. It's a track that there's definitely a few drivers in the field that are looking forward to it, circle it on their calendar, thought that this is a chance for them to get a win. but I think there's two that maybe are fearful of it, and that's your 2 points leaders, because their championship hopes could go up in smoke very quickly here, just getting caught up in somebody else's issues, and really drop a ton of points to their competitors. But we'll see how it plays out. Everyone out there got a time in except for Sean Wilder. And no surprise, the 77 of Michael Pratt still in pit road. I'm not sure he understands that you can qualify for these races. He likes to start from the back. But
it's to his own.
it's just what he does. But not surprised at our pole sitter here tonight. I don't think the 41 wants to waste any time. He wants to get that lap led and maybe wants to stay up there, keep his nose clean, and keep everybody else behind him. Because we got our starting order for tonight's race. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of that 19-car starting order?
No. Sure. Hold on a second. Get that up here. Just quickly here, as you can see on the left-hand side, still got the tower up. But Dalton Kilrow will lead everybody down the field here to the start with Andy Briggett back on the outside. John Garrett and Andrew Pilecki in that second row. And then Maxwell Caldwell with Justin Lewis in row number 3. Row number 4, Todd Merkel with our fearless leader, Tim Lee. Row number 5 is going to be Michael Taylor with Hemi Giardini, and we got some little birdie told us some things to look for in that car later on. We'll give you a show of those, and then Mike Hasty will be in 11th, and 12th is Tyler Hilton, last Talladega winner. Glenn McNeese in 13th, Gordon Larson in 14th, Eric Blount in 15th, Brandon Meyer back there in 16th, Todd Poston, and Michael Pratt bringing up the back of the field here. So 18 drivers still roaming around the tracks here at VVR, looking to finish out this season. And yeah, as soon as the season's over, they're going to waste no time, and they're going to put on a short little sprint of different races. So it's going to be interesting here. Mm-hmm. But
I do have 91 of Sean Wilder out there as well. He's going to be starting 19th there in the field.
Oh, yeah.
As we do get a 19-car field here. But now I kind of ask you, Jimmy, well, we got some time here, getting ready to do the pace lap here before we get going green. If you're Dalton Kilrow or Andrew Pilecki, both of them obviously starting up there in the first 2 rows, given Talladega is Talladega, do you maybe try and partner up here a little bit and kind of run together, team up a little bit, and kind of work with each other to get away from everybody, whether it's in the front of the field, the back of the field, to kind of guarantee yourself that if one of you guys gets caught up, you're both screwed, or if both of you survive, you at least have a shot for each of you at the season finale.
I don't know. I mean, they both have teammates out there. I guess it's just wondering who, what team's going to work together. I know we used to see a lot more MFRD cars out there. Dalton Kilrow being one of the main ones left as he tried to defend his title there, and you can see looks like, where did Tim Lee go?
You gotta go, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You pulled off the
boss, where are you going, man?
And he took back to the lane.
Wow. So down to the inside for Tim Lee. When you gotta go, you gotta go. And then
he qualified in the top 10. He got scared.
Too far up? I don't know. So quick in and out there for Tim. Hopefully he's okay and they can get back out there.
I'm not sure what's going on here, because Todd Poston also had an issue. Looks like Maxwell Caldwell, Todd Merkel.
Boys?
What am I missing here?
Boys? Let me go back live, see where everybody's at. Where's
94? Yeah, what am I missing here?
I see something in chat. I'm seeing a lot of people disconnecting. Somebody say boom. Race into darkness. They got lights here, don't they? Talladega? Everybody's disconnecting. Better check Discord. Well, folks, it looks like the track is emptying out.
Yep, and I did get a report from Tim Lee that apparently we thought the session was set up as 7 o'clock. I mean, it was supposed to be set up as 5 o'clock, but unfortunately we set up as 7 o'clock. So there's no lights here at Talladega. So we're going to have to get another session going here, as that's going to get set up here momentarily, and
Okay.
we'll get this race underway. But I mean, it's probably good. I know some of these cars do have headlights on it, but I promise you, Jimmy, they are just stickers. They do not count for anything. So
You know,
that would explain why everybody is jumping out of here. And,
well,
and
Hemi
trying-
Gardini's going to start this thing off there, Carl, and he's going to put in some laps. 80
this
laps
should be a lot
alone.
of fun.
Let's go. Hey, while we're at it, we got a couple things
So-
that we could show on the 17 while they load up the next session. Let's see. We got. We were told to go and follow the front. And if anybody can spot out what is different about these cars, feel free to put it in the chat for sure. As me and Carl have spotted a little bit of something there in the front of the car that's usually not there. Leave that there for a few seconds, and then we'll move to the next location. Because it's a good reminder while we're waiting for something everybody out there should do. And I don't even have to say anything, Carl. The the words of Hemi Gardini. Like them, like and subscribe to the Sierra Head on YouTube.
I think we should have done, Jimmy, is we should have just kept it set up another session if we have to, but keep it as 7 o'clock, and we'll just have me and you go out there with one of the prototypes, turn the lights on one of the prototypes, one of the GT3s, and lead these guys around the track.
I mean, you could turn on the driver's line. I think you can see that in the dark.
Yeah, exactly. We've done dumber things. So I think we did the jumpy trucks at Lime Rock at night, and that was interesting. We even did them at I think at Crandon with no lights, mistakenly, and it was just light enough that I could see, but there was a lot of drivers that could not. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and step aside here.
Yeah,
We'll get everything
be right
set up
back.
for the second session, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to CRN's coverage of Talladega. I promised you didn't miss anything other than a second round of qualifying here, as we're going to get this thing ready to go. As we had some issues with the first session just being a little bit too dark, and these drivers, I mean, they had the option of running at night. They had the option of setting up another session, and me and Jimmy maybe getting out there with some prototypes and shining the way for them. They decided to just redo another session here at the correct time. So we'll get this thing back underway as qualifying just finishing up right now, and we'll get you our new starting order because it is not the same. I will tell you that. And our championship leaders are not on the front row. They are back a little bit further. So, Jimmy, we're back. And why don't you give us another rundown of tonight's starting order?
I promise you it's not Groundhog Day. It's not going to keep going for the snow. But that is shortly around the corner here, I'm sure, in a few short months for some individuals. But Justin Lewis is your pole sitter here. Over Andy, bring it. John Garrett, Maxwell Caldwell will be up there in row number 2. Todd Merkel, Brandon Meyer in row number 3. Hemi Giardini and Dalton Kilroy will be back there in row number 4. Andrew Paleschi and Todd Possum will be there and back in row number 5. Tyler Hilton, Len McNeese. Row number 6, Michael Taylor, Tim Lee in row number 7. Mike Hasty and Eric Blount back there in row number 8. Gordon Larson and Michael Pratt will be in row number 9. And Sean Wilder is in the pit stall. So 19 cars.
Well, I'm seeing it as Sean Wilder showing up as 18th and Michael Pratt as 19th. Which now it's starting to make sense. They weren't actually restarting a new session because it was too dark. Michael Pratt wasn't fully all the way in the back of the field. So now that he's starting 19th instead of 18th, now all is right with the world, and we can get this this session underway. But actually, it looks like Michael Pratt having a connection issue, so hopefully he can get back here in time. I mean, he'd start from the back anyway, and I'm sure if he had a chance, he'd probably start from the pits, but we'll see. I mean, we've seen it before where drivers decide to start from the pits at Talladega and Daytona, just wanting to fully be away from everybody, fully expecting that a caution will come out at some point and they'll be able to rejoin the field. But I can't really say that for VVR here.
No.
I mean, they run a lot of green flag laps, and I could see this thing going green for 80 laps, and you make one little mistake like that, and it's not going to be a good night for you.
I mean, it's bad enough they got to deal with pit stops, where it can really shift things up. But you don't want to come out of the pits and already start behind the Powerball, obviously, unless you have some partners, and unless you have about three or four cars, and you want to kind of just ride around, back a little ways and stay away from everybody. I mean, then that may be a possibility, but I would not do it solo. Bad move. Friends or no friends here at Dega, it's probably best if you don't have a slew of people to start in the pits to just bite the bullet and get out there and race like a real race car driver.
I think the only thing that's maybe stayed the same here with the starting order is Andy Brigante starting out there in second place. That Lambo is just good enough to get on the front row, but not good enough to get the pole. But again, it seems like we have a brand new make and model out here every week, and we do see the 17 out there. Not only does he have those the little Easter eggs on there for everyone out there in the broadcast and for us up here in the booth, but he is out there in a Plymouth Roadrunner here tonight.
I want to see your car, Hemi.
Exactly. So you see it's Plymouth, and you take a look at the back end of that. That is that's first, I think, Plymouth Roadrunner that's been here at Talladega. As we'll see if Black Sheep here can get it done here with Hemi Giardini, and he's definitely well overdue for a good finish. He's had a rough go for most of this season here, but some good looking paint schemes out there. Even the Nerds Gummy Clusters, I know my son would probably love that one. Not just for all the cool colors on there, but he's a big fan of the Nerds Gummy Clusters. But we'll see who's got the nicest car in victory lane here tonight. It's gonna be Justin Lewis out there. I mean, he took it to him last week in his first time back after a long hiatus. Seeing that he was in the field here again. Didn't get the pole the first time around. Well, now we reshuffle it. He's got the pole with that 7, so we'll see what Lewis can do if he's got enough to go back to back here on his return. Not going to be easy with these other 18 cars in the field, but they are on the front stretch, going through the tri-oval, waiting to get to that restart zone, and there it is, green flag, and we are racing here at Talladega.
A nice start, nice solid start there, pretty much by the field. A little bit too much maybe by Andy on the outside. Is going to get everybody to catch up to him. So hopefully he can just suck them up and get a nice run down the backstretch like they normally have. And you can see John Garrett trying to give the 7 a push here to get him out front to stop that outside train from coming by. But the draft was just so strong here. Just what a run on the outside. Already 3 wide back here with number 13. Is that the 13?
Yeah, it is a 13 here of Amir just sliding back towards the back of the field there. We've seen it, we've seen it work that way before. Typically, we'll see drivers do that, go to the outside, or they'll drop down on the apron on the backstretch to kind of slide their way towards the back of the field, and it feels a little more safer back there with the 6 of Eric Blunt. Just going to ride around towards the back of this field, but good start here. Complete the first lap, and Lamborghini of Andy Brigante in the front spot.
You guys might want some a few overlays to see where your favorite drivers were at. I almost forgot about those. I brought them down during the break. Yeah, nice distance here for Talladega. I mean, 80 laps of running at least 2 wide. You can see the cars bobbling around a little bit. It's it's you can almost flat foot it around here. Obviously, as the leaders, I know you can, but like when you're following, even when you're drafting, you can almost flat foot it. You don't want to. You want to save some fuel. It could be the benefit that you need to, get some positions easier on pit road when you're coming back out. But yeah, looking good here. Pretty solid. Not too much weaving around. So drivers definitely, you can tell, have some veteran status of going some longer distances, and it's been like that for a lot of the season, Carl. A lot of the races, they found themselves going a lot of green flag races, coming down to like strategy, whether it was staying out a little longer, taking tires early, not taking tires at all, just a lot of good decision making going on by a bunch of different drivers, multiple different winners here. Alessi to be as close as he is in points without a win. There's just a lot of things going on here, a lot of dynamics. We do have our drivers that sometimes we see them, and then we don't see them for a little while, for a week or two, and then they're back out here. So for somebody like the 7 of Justin Lewis to kind of join the crowd, fits right in with what a lot of things going on here. And you can see Justin Lewis obviously having some experience with super speedways, and it's kind of one of the things that they do. You kind of you'll get out there, and when you're in the bottom and that top row is coming, you slide up to the top and you pick up that draft, you slow it down, and it pushes you back out to the front. And it helps you maintain the lead, and I'm sure he's well versed in of doing so. The only thing that happened was that Lambo stepped out and went backwards, so it didn't quite work out immediately like you thought it would. But the 94 Maxwell Caldwell wanting to get around the 7, so I would believe the 7 is just going to stay up there on that high side, going to pick up Dalton Kilrow and work his way back to the front that way, but getting a little bit loose there.
And you see on the opposite side of the track, the 77 Michael Pratt did make it out here. And he's on the lead lap, but he's certainly going to need a caution to catch back up to the field. But I think what may happen before that is the field will catch up to him, and he'll be a lap down. But he will be the only one a lap down, and possibly for quite some time until we get to the first round of pit stops to kind of shake things up. But Maxwell Caldwell down there on the bottom, looking to try and get some laps led here. And would love to try and get back in the win column himself. I mean, he's another one that only 1 win on the season. That was back at Bristol way back in April, on April 24th. So over a half a year since his last win here in the series, and would love to just out of the playoff, or not the playoffs, out of the championship running, most likely, unless something major were to happen in these last 2 races to both our top guys. But it doesn't mean he can't go out there, compete, and try and get some wins to finish out this season. Robert Kahn is the one that is tied with Dalton Kilrow. They both have 5 wins on the season, but Kahn not here in the field. And I believe he's done for the season. I thought I remember him saying that before, maybe just Talladega. But either way, field doubled up here and running well. You see cars, they dance around a little bit here in these older ARCA cars, but for the most part, I mean, it's one thing that's nice about Talladega. It's not Daytona. It's a little bit wider. You get more room to kind of move the car around here a little bit, and you see it from Mike Casey's point of view here, looking up front there. See some of the cars dancing back and forth. They got that room that you're not right on top of that next person on the outside.
Yeah, just it kind of gives. You can hear him lifting here as he's catching, using that draft pull alongside. You can see up front there going pretty wide though. So we're gonna sneak up front here and see what they're doing. Is got the 81 of Andrew Pileski with the 7 now join in junction there, and here they are. They are points leaders side by side, three wide on lap number 7.
Well, and the thing that hasn't happened yet is neither of them have led a lap. And we talked about it before that I'm sure they're going to try and get out there and at least each lead a lap to kind of cancel that out for each other. But none of them have done that yet. So we'll see how this thing plays out. And we'll see if either of them try to go for an aggressive move. But right now, looks like all 3 lanes are kind of stuck right where they are. And stuck right in line here, straight across for the top 3 positions, and then 4th, 5th, and 6th side by side as well, with Hemi Ghiardini and Todd Poston right there trying to figure out a way to get up there as well. Maybe the inside line getting a little bit better run this time by, as John Garrett going to go to the point.
Yeah, I'm waiting for at least one more car to poke out there with a 7 and 81. It would really pick up the speed on the outside. But the 7 obviously playing it safe, not down there, against the 94, trying to pick up the side draft or anything, just keeping their space. I mean, this is fun. It makes it intense, especially for the drivers in the middle, because you're getting that call inside, outside. You're the meat. I mean, it's there's all kinds of things that I'm sure the spotters are saying, but yeah, not even one taker going to the outside. So everybody seems content, and the 7 looking to kind of go down and take that away, but that's going to leave the 81 up by himself, and let's see, the 7's going to poke out again and try to pick that 81 up to give him a little bit of help maybe, but those 2 are going to be falling back here shortly, as that inside line has now got 3 cars in front, so a little bit of battling on the outside and not sticking together is going to end up probably pushing these 2 cars back just a little bit here early on.
Good to see the 2 of Todd Merkel back out there as well, and now peeking his way to the outside. Maybe going to leave John Garrett as he's going to pull up in front of Maxwell Caldwell. Get a nice little bump down the backstretch here as Hemi Ghiardini into the back of the 66, trying to get that inside line rolling again. But you've seen what happened there by the 2. Kind of gave a good little shot to the 66 and got a big gap in between him and the car back there in 3rd, so that allowed him to draft up on the 66, slingshot around the outside, and it was a while until another car could pick up the 66 of John Garrett. A really great strategic way to pass here at Talladega, as get that lap led to Todd Merkel.
Yeah, there's all kinds of little tricks you can do. I mean, to get that lap led, to get your car forward. It does take a little bit of luck, timing, and if you're gonna make a move with a small amount of gap and as big as the draft is here, you can't hesitate. You're gonna make it. You make it. You mess up. You mess up. Is what it is at that point, and you try to carry on the rest of your evening, and hopefully you don't wreck or ruin anybody else's. But see, 17 of Hemi Ghiardini touching that yellow line down there. You gotta be careful of that. Can't upstart the car. Here's Michael Pratt up on the high side. So they're gonna allow all the drivers to kind of go by. Garrett going to the high side, got to pick up the 94. Leave Merkel down to the inside. Try to take that away and try to stay up front here early as the 02 looking. Got that run, that draft, pull him around, just trying to maybe breathe, get a little air on that front end. I was really kind of tucked up behind the 17 here early on. Going towards the back here with Eric Blount. I see him and Brandon mixing it up here just a little bit. But they're continuing going forward here. Everybody's all kind of crunched together, so yeah, interesting one here so far as we're 12 laps in of 80.
Yeah, and now we'll get to see Michael Pratt do something even more special, not just go back to front, but he's going to have to get a lap back and go back to front here. So certainly going to need something to happen here to help him out in the way of a caution. But good start for the field here. Not surprised by me, at least, that we are now 12 laps in. This thing has been lean and green. We'll see when the first round of pit stops are going to take place, but it is Todd Merkel, John Garrett, Hemi Gardini, Tyler Hilton, Maxwell Caldwell for your top 5, Dalton Kilroe, Michael Taylor, Todd Poston, Mike Hasty, and Andy Brigante for your top 10. But check with me by the time we get out of turn 3 and 4, and it'll be something completely different.
It could be. I mean, it's Talladega. Anything can happen. And, you know, all the Skittles are bunched up in one. I mean, they're out in the heat. It's a big mess, rainbow mess. So, just like on the track with all the liveries. So, but it's a good one here so far. Todd Merkel up front, getting a few different leaders here early on. Biggest mover of the race so far would have to be Tyler Hilton up in P number now 6. So they keeps bouncing around, but has been as high as I think 4th, and trying to keep his progression moving forward.
You see how much these cars are dancing around here, and I think as this run gets in here, we mentioned it several times here that, you know, the tires don't necessarily matter that much here at Talladega, but they do make you feel a little bit more comfortable. And you see how much these cars are starting to dance around a little bit. That is from the tires wearing, not just from the, you know, the funky air that they're getting off the cars in front of them. It is the tires wearing in here a little bit as well, getting, you know, hot and greasy out there. So you get those fresh tires on there, and it just helps to kind of stick to your line a little bit better, and something that you're going to really kind of want towards the end of the race for sure. But you have to be strategic with it, and you have to make sure that you got friends, teammates, whatever, down in the pits with you that are also going to take tires, because if you take tires just to kind of feel nice, safe, and cozy, you could be the only one, and you'll feel nice, safe, and cozy because there won't be anyone around you. You'll be way behind the field, and you know, getting lapped like Michael Pratt just did.
Yeah, and that's, you know, like, I don't know where he started or how he got that far behind, but you know, if he started out of the pits, you know, obviously it's a long way, and then you know you hope the pit with people, you know, maybe staying out maybe a little bit longer or whatever, and you could catch that caution. Or yeah, there's a lot of hopes when it comes to, you know, here at VVR and cautions. They've been far and few between most races. So occasionally, you know, they'll have a bad race night, but nothing too terrible that you definitely well above average when it comes to green flag racing here. So if you're out there, you're watching now, you're looking for a place to race here on Thursday nights. The season might be over, but they, like I said, they're going to continue with some like fun races. Like I think it's 9 races, 9-race sprint type of thing. I think it had different cars in it depending on the track. And then they'll be back next season for some more. I don't know if they'll go new ARCA car. I don't know if they'll go to Xfinity yet, but we'll find out when that information gets passed along to us. And if you'd like to know, you can look up Virtual Velocity Racing. They're on Facebook. That's where they do most of their communicating. Probably the easiest to reach out there, but they do have a Discord as well, and you can get a hold of Tim Lee and his gang of admin over there to help you out. But here we are, 17 laps of 80. John Garrett's now in the lead over Todd Merkel, Maxwell Caldwell, Hemi Gardini, and Dalton Kilroe. Your top 5.
Missed a chance to do it early on here in the race from laps 9 to 11, but I guess we'll double that and do a little moment of silence here. Obviously, today being 9/11, I know we had some tributes last night for the pit road speed limit racing league, and some definitely cool paint schemes out there. But I think from CRN Nation, we'd like to kind of offer our support as well to all the first responders and all the firefighters, policemen that were involved and maybe lost their lives for 9/11. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of take a faux little love to hear it here from lap 18 to lap 22. Quick little moment of silence here from the booth again for today being that 9/11, and again a shout out to all the first responders, the police officers, the firemen, and everyone else that is a part of everyone's life, whether you see them or not, whether they're utilized or not. They're there for you, and it's something that as Jimmy mentioned, even when it comes to the military, some can do it, some can't. It's not for everyone for sure. So they definitely deserve the respect that they have earned out there. But we're back racing here, and haven't missed anything when it comes to pit stops, because we haven't had any just yet, as we are now 23 laps into this race on lap number 24 right now, is Tyler Hilton in the lead, looking to go back-to-back here in one season here at Talladega. John Garrett, Dalton Kilroe, Todd Merkel, Andrew Palesci for your top 5, Justin Lewis, Maxwell Caldwell, Hemi Gardini, Michael Taylor, and Todd Poston for your top 10. So far, so good, Jimmy. I mean, everybody's they're having fun out there. We've seen 2 wide, we've seen 3 wide, but everybody's keeping it off each other, and they're dancing out there a little bit here and there, but we're keeping it green.
Dalton Kilroe really trying to work that side draft on the outside here. He wants that lap lead, getting so close, can see it, just can't quite get there yet.
See it, he can taste it, he just doesn't have enough help to get there is the problem.
By himself?
And literally no help right now.
Well, you know what this
out there?
you know what this represents, though, right? Single file.
What's that?
Talladega. It's almost pit time.
Well, that is true. It's got to be getting pretty close here, and we'll see how this thing is going to play out here. But if it is, Dalton Kilroe stuck on that outside. Now, we've seen them come in 2 wide before, and we see a couple coming in, and that's way too hot. Both cars missing pit entry, the 02 and the 66. Tyler Hilton, John Garrett, black flags for both of them. They did not make it safely onto pit road. It's like the 91, the 77, and the 24 all will make it onto pit road cleanly, but that is going to give the lead to Dalton Kilroe. It's worked out nicely. Maybe that's why he wasn't the outside by himself. He knew some of those guys were going to stay out there, and not stay out there. They're going to come into the pits. Not surprised that the 41 is out there still, because he consistently this season has been one of those cars that likes to run longer on the fuel runs, especially early on in the race. And it pays off here as he gets himself a lap lead. And now here we'll see another group of cars come into the pits.
Oh, I love this. It's so pretty.
This is a little cleaner. Heck of a job there from Todd Poston getting that thing slowed up in time. As we got a gaggle of cars here coming down pit road. Now we see a few cars side by side. You got to be careful coming in.
So close
right there.
Be glad they can drive to each other in that pit lane. It's like the pit stalls are like a safety window. As soon as a car crosses over, you can drive to. But you see Palesci getting out, and the 41. Everybody kind of coming out together here. Not too bad of a pit stop. Some shuffle around by some of the drivers here, but the fact is that they all got out here pretty tame and getting back out there. But back up with the leader of Mike Taylor is going to come down in. Who is coming down? It should be the rest of the field. And that's what you see here. You got the 98, the 72, Gordon Larson, Hemi Gardini, and Eric Blount.
And this should complete our pit cycle here, and we'll see who's got the lead and how about it. The 81 of Andrew Palesci. Now he's going to have his turn at the front. Not going to get it, though, this time by, because most likely those cars in pit lane will pull out of the pits before they get there. So he's going to have to stick around for one more lap, and you already see, look for a second there, like Dalton Kilroe was going to try and step out and try and steal that lead from him, because this lap right here is not going to go to the 81. He's going to need one more lap as they'll go by the cars that just came into the pits. And you see those cars that came into the pits pretty spread out. They're going to have to catch up to each other very quickly to catch up to this field, because right now we got a 7-car breakaway at the front. The The 13, the 98 going to try and grab the back end of this, but too far back. A lot of drivers are going to have to work their way back to the front. Andrew Pletsch going to try and stay up there for just about a half a lap yet and get himself a lap lead and cancel out that lap lead for Dalton Kilroe.
Yeah, it's that one point that he can't allow that 41 to have over him. Has to match it here tonight. I mean, we'd like to get that win to get them extra points as well.
Yeah, of course, that the win would certainly be very nice here for Andrew Pletsch and most likely give him the lead heading into the season finale. But we still got a long way to go here as we are only about a third of the way through this race. Pletsch, Lewis, Kilroe, Merkel, Caldwell, and McNeese for your top 6 right now, as they have kind of broken away here. And actually the 31 there, Todd Poston, also their 7-car breakaway at the front of the field. Then you got 1.4 seconds back to Andy Briganti in the 55, trying to lead this second pack back to him. They're starting to take some chunks away, and they could very well be to the back very soon. So great job from this second line, getting in line and running it back towards the front.
That's a tough task, you know. But it's those drivers have to work together. Ooh, you see the 13, Brandon going out wide, maybe just wanting to fall back, but those drivers have to work together in order to catch. But they're in that draft window now. They should be good to go. We'll see them double up here, just I'm sure momentarily, and try to drive up alongside that whole field. Tim Lee's on board with the 55 right now, and I think the rest of that backpack there is definitely on board as well. As you see the 98 and 91 joining on the high side here. Yeah, too wide.
Yeah, back to 2 wide here is a great job again from the field catching back up. So now it is up to a, trying to see who's at the back of this field here. Looks like, well, Michael Pratt's at the back there. So it's a 13-car breakaway, 9.2 seconds back to the 00 of Gordon Larson, as Eric Blunt and Garridini are the 3-car tandem pretty far back from the field. And then the 66 of John Garrett and the 02 of Tyler Hilton way back here in the field. They had to serve that 40-second penalty, both of them. So I guess at least if you're going to get a penalty, why not have a friend and get a penalty with them?
Push, he can just hear the bird. Come on, we're gotta catch him. Good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. Just hang in there. Hopefully, hope something happens. Obviously, trying to come in and get every second that you could. Not paying off, and that's why it's so difficult, you know, to kind of get these cars to break and come in. And when I was racing the other night with the 191 crew, and we were at Auto Club, you know, coming into the pits for a green flag pit stop, it was you know, I was able to get the car down, but it was like just to the point to, like, you know, probably too early, like getting on the brakes, but just being really careful so it wasn't caught speeding coming in the pits, because I know how easy it is to not be able to apply the pressure or apply too much pressure, lock up the brakes, you slide, you spin, it's just a mess. So I probably need more practice, as I'm well out of practice when it comes to pitting, especially when it comes to oval. I was we're under caution, and I think it was Scruffy. I was trying to modulate the gas pedal so I could stay at the speed limit, because there's no pit limiter on these cars.
No, there's
no assistance of keeping you below the speed limit. You can go above the speed limit whenever you want. So it's really kind of difficult. And the guys that have been doing this a long time, I'm sure it's easy for them, but definitely was difficult. And I probably ended up brake checking Scruffy, but I apologized, and he was okay with it. So he said he was used to it. So I was like, all right, thanks. But anyway, back to the front here. It's the number 55 of Andy out front. Tim Lee, fearless leader, leading the pack there in second place with the 98 of Michael Taylor and Sean Wilder there for your top 4. So 4 of them drivers that were behind that front 7 are now out front.
It's not just as easy as you know, obviously trying to get everything that you can get in the pits, But as soon as you start to brake, it's a little bumpy down there on the pit entrance as well. And with these cars here, the older ARCA cars, they don't exactly take the bumps too well. I mean, you see them here on the track, that the suspension really given a little bit here. So that can lead to lockups as well. And lockups are definitely not what you want coming into the pits, especially if you're trying to get everything coming in. But great job from the field, other than two drivers. Sorry to those getting called out here, Tyler Hilton and John Garrett, as they are back there a lap down and far back from the pack as well. But we got a nice 13-car breakaway here at the front, and a really great run here so far, as the field now crosses and is going to complete 34 laps of 80.
Yeah, 34.80, and we'll just go ahead. I'll bring up the time one more time here, just kind of give you an idea when everybody pit. So right around 25, 26, 27 laps there for some of these drivers. So yeah, definitely that time frame. So looking around anywhere between lap 54, between 50 and 54, everybody should be back in again. So that would take them out, I think, to the end, if everything is right. No,
well, that's what
that'd
I'm
be
looking at.
75.
I mean, you're looking at the drivers that pit on 24, 25, even 26. They're not on a pit strategy that can get them to the end. The ones that pit on lap number 27, they're borderline. They can, if they can save as much as they did those first couple of runs, they have a chance. But you look at where they're at as well. They're back further in the field. Other than Mike Hasty and Brandon Meir, there's Eric Blunt, Hemi Giardini, Gordon Larson. They're back in that kind of second pack back there. And they'd love to race hard to catch back up to the front pack. But if you're still going to be on that same pit strategy, you got to save fuel. You can't just run this thing flat out.
Well, Mike Taylor being in, and he was in on laps after 27, and somehow has found himself there in P13. So must have just had a great pit stop to kind of get back out there, and now finds himself floating around with drivers that are probably going to come in way before he's ready. So, what do you do? Do you pit with everybody else, or do you wait for the guys that you were on the same strategy with?
So, Jimmy, I got a bone to pick with our fans.
Uh-oh. So,
as of last night, we were keeping an eye on it. We had 1,499 subscribers, and we did have one subscriber jump on last night to get us that 1,500 mark. But, Jimmy, we're back down to 1,499.
Uh-oh.
So, so somebody jumped ship. So I'm calling you out. Whoever you are out there that subscribed to get us 1,500 and then backed out of your subscription, you're not getting your money back.
It's free.
It costs nothing. You're not getting your free back.
1 week penalty. 1 day penalty. You got time to put that subscribe back.
Well, it's been a great race here so far. We're getting close to the halfway point here. Now 37 laps in the book, and it is Andy Briganti in the lead. I wish there was a way to see it in SDK to see, who's led laps, who's been up there and had a chance, because it is, especially at races like this, I like to see how many lead changes there were, how many different drivers have actually led a lap out here, because I'm sure it's plenty of them.
There's an overlay for that somewhere. I have to do some research to see if there's one out there. I don't know of any. That'd be something nice,
I feel like,
nice to add.
Yeah, especially, if you're, if you are Andrew Baleshi or Dalton Kilrow in a situation like this coming down where every single point matters, you'd like to know if your competitors led a lap here. I mean, obviously, I'm sure they're keeping track of it themselves, and they've seen that their competitor led a lap here tonight. But it would be something nice to have, if you're in a 2-3-way battle for a points position, and coming down to the last couple of races, you'd like to see if that's one bonus point that your competitor picked up on you by leading a lap. So I wouldn't mind finding if there's something out there. But how about Tim Lee?
I know it says it in the results at the end,
and running in second.
Yeah, it definitely. They say it at the end, like who's somewhat, but
Yeah,
Not
keep
like that
track
would
of it,
be
yeah.
like any beneficial to knowing who was your leader during a race. I mean, besides the league, but it could be like, oh, that guy got a lap left. Now I need to get up there. But yeah, I'm not sure. There's a couple things that they keep pretty to themselves for iRacing. If you're like the GT3 cars, the new cars, if you're in the car and on your dashboard, you can switch to your tires and you can see your pressure and you can see your how hot they are. But you can't see that like if you're spotting like
You're
we
on the
are
same
here.
team.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not even in the team, you can't see it.
And that would be nice. Like I get it if you're a competitor and trying to hop into somebody else's car and trying to see what they're doing or how their tires are, everything like that. I get that. But if you're you're doing team racing, like the endurance races that we do from time to time here on iRacing, any information that the driver can see in the car, you should be able to see as well. I mean, I know they can relay it back to the team verbally, but when you're you look at teams in real life, whether it's NASCAR, whether it's Formula One, anything like that, they have all that data for them, and they have all that data whether they're behind the wheel or not. They have that data. So as a spotter, as somebody else on the team, if you can see it in iRacing in the car, you should be able to kind of have that shared throughout the whole team, especially when it comes to fuel mileage. I think that's one of the biggest things as well. I mean, there's so many different overlays that give you the fuel mileage in the car, but you only getting lap after lap. Once you cross a line, once your teammate crosses the line, then it'll update for you and let you know what's left in the tank. But when you're in the car, it'll click down every time you go down 0.1 of a gallon, and you'll know exactly how much is in the car. But you don't have that option as a spotter or as a teammate.
Yeah, definitely a few things that would be nice housekeeping items for drivers or teammates for those type of events. But now we're over the halfway mark here with virtual velocity racing, and as you can tell, they're still green, and obviously they're single file right now. Just they know that they have a lot more race to go, probably trying to save some fuel and make things work here. As a few drivers, the front four working pretty tight and pushing pretty hard. You got 81 of Andrew Plushy probably letting up a little bit, saving some fuel. Dalton Kilroe's got plenty of time. He's not probably in no rush, just kind of chilling, relaxing here tonight so far. So, yeah, uneventful time at the moment as everybody is single file here at Talladega. We're 43 laps in of 80.
16 cars on the lead lap. Michael Pratt had some connection issues at the start of the race and had to get back in. Did get in for the start, but unfortunately had to start from the pits. That's why he is one lap down right now, because he was out there by himself and the field ended up catching him. But he is at the tail end of this longest line at the front. One lap down and would be in the lucky dog spot. Were a caution to come out. John Garrett, Tyler Hilton, the other two that are one lap down, they had pit road penalties, getting in just a little bit too hot into the pits, and unfortunately ended up getting themselves a penalty as well.
It's a tough one, when you're out here and they were having good races. They were up front and coming in just a little bit hot and locking it up and almost losing it. And next thing you know, you got a black flag that you gotta wait because you're speeding entering the pits, and you find yourself in the back. But like you said, at least they have each other to hold hands, because it's going to take the field that much longer, and to get to them. I mean, I'm sure that the gap is slowly growing, but at least when you have somebody with you, instead of going 178 miles an hour, you can go 192 miles an hour. And then, the leaders are probably going 195 or 196. So it's definitely a lot better to be with somebody. It could be your mortal enemy, but you're going to work together to try to at least not go another lap down and possibly work your way back up for the race here. So, I mean, they are racing each other, so there's at least that.
Well, that's one thing that you can't do if you're in the back groups here. You can't race each other. You got to try and go hard. But it's kind of weird, and I mean, maybe it's why I suck at super speedways. But I never understood, what you need to do to catch up to the groups in front of you, because more often than not, they're single file as well. So how is a group of 3 cars going to catch a line of 15 if you're all lined up together? You figure 15 should be getting through the air a little bit better than those 3, but I don't know. Maybe I need to take some aerodynamics classes to try and figure that out. But either way, lap 46 now as Andy Brigante in the lead. Tim Lee, Michael Taylor, Sean Wilder, Andrew Pileshi for your top 5. Justin Lewis, Dalton Kilroe, Todd Merkel, Maxwell Caldwell, and Len McNeese for your top 10.
I'm really kind of surprised that everybody is single file, to be honest. Not kind of laid back and relaxing here tonight as they go around here at Talladega. They're just kind of waiting for like another, a good 20, 30 some laps for about 30 laps before they start really getting wild. So, it's Dega. They're out here just chilling, having a good time, maybe having a cold one while they're steering around here one-handed, especially in single file. You don't have to white knuckle anything and just kind of put in the gas and lift when you need to, so you don't run into the guy in front of you. So doing a great job here so far. Andy's out front, Tim Lee's in second, and then Michael Taylor back there in third. So your biggest mover of the race is going to be Sean Wilder, up 14 spots in that 4th place at the moment.
Well, I was going to ask you. Obviously, over in the Core Xfinity series, we have Shane. I know he nice. Gave us the actual pronunciation of his name, probably the third or 4th time now. It's not. Well, either way, that's what I'm talking about right now. I'm gonna figure it out before I butcher his name one more time here.
He said it's Terry. Terrion.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. There we go.
No wait.
I'm gonna still call him Therian. I don't care. Either way. But I mean, we mentioned ad nauseum that he's out here racing on a controller. He's obviously not out here tonight. But I was gonna ask you talk about these drivers, maybe having a cold one and driving one-handed. I mean, I guess if there's anyone that can literally drive one-handed, it would be Shane. I mean, he can just hold the gas pedal down with his pointer finger on his right hand and work the stick with his thumb there. I don't know if I'd do that here at Talladega, but I guess if there's any place to do it, why not?
Yeah, he's one of those rare few that you see come out here and do a fantastic job. Now, we do know that he has the gear. He just feels faster because he's been racing like that so long. He just feels better and more comfortable actually getting around tracks. So just still trying to teach himself how to not be slow with the proper equipment. Well, what is it really? Well, I guess more real life experience equipment. But no, I mean, there's plenty of drivers out there. There's some that do mouse and keyboard. Those people are crazy, but I'm sure they're out there and get around here. And you see plenty of e-race drivers, drive around with the what you would say was like the bottom. It's not bottom of the barrel. It's just like the what's
starter kit.
The starter kit for everybody. Yeah, so you can G29 wheel or 27 and G923, just all basic stuff. Not everybody has the room, the space, the cash flow to dump $5,000-$10,000 into the equipment that you start bringing a lot of different things to life. Cranking up the force feedback to 100% at like 10 Newton meters, and you feel every nook and cranny. I mean, when you turn the wheel, you feel the tires like pushing or getting tight, or having a what do they call them? Them SimCube pedals they have. They're like $2,500 a pedal, so $5,000 for two pedals, for a gas pedal and a brake pedal. But it's supposed to be give you that realistic feel. It's just what you want to. I mean, obviously, as long as you're having fun and you can get around and enjoy yourself, you don't need all that stuff out there. But by all means, if you can
you can get it, then get it. But if not, then whatever. Some people drive VR, some people drive triple screens, some people drive 4K, some people in 1080p. You know, it's all out there. I mean, I was talking to somebody yesterday. They drive hooked to their rig is a 70-inch 4K TV that they use. So, but looks like pit stops are beginning here. Is some come down in the pits.
And Jimmy, I don't think this is late enough to get this thing done. Looks like everybody did get in there safely, but lap 52 here, or the end of lap 51, way too early. The longest we've seen these drivers get out there so far is 27 laps, so you're going to have to get through lap 53. So not pitting this lap, pitting the following lap to be, you know, kind of in that good pit window to get this thing all the way to the end. I'm sure we'll see quite a few more come in this time, though, because it may not have the gas to get one more lap. As you see this field,
I'm not surprised about the 55 having to go in, though. They let the 55 out front the whole time, so he definitely had to come in. And the fact that he had people that could follow him, he should be thankful, because he could have been the one going in by himself. You can save an extreme amount of fuel in the draft, and that's why I think you've seen a lot of these drivers just kind of chilling and staying out there. But you can see they're going to go around another time here. On lap number 53, they do have to come around at least one more time to complete 54. So, and I think they'll put them a little bit closer, and maybe not enough. I think that anybody that can stay out to lap 55 would really be impressive here. But you know, you don't want to lose your driving partner.
Yeah, that'd be nice, and you could hold that thing flat and not have to worry about it most likely for the rest of the race if you're able to do that. But I think if you come in this time by, you're at least in the window to make it all the way to the end. Either way, this pit stop is the money stop for these drivers. They have to nail it. They have to get in and out. They have to get out with friends. I mean, everything has to go right on this pit stop. Unless we were to get a late race caution, this is the time where you, the pit crew, the brake pedal, everything needs to work perfectly and in sync, because if you lose the pack here, your race is probably over.
This is the one that I'm sure a lot of pressure on these drivers getting in and being safe, fast, and being on point with the rest of your fellow drivers. So that's going to be a good one here, and it's probably going to be this time by, if not the next time for sure. But right now, this group of cars are looking to go around, but looking at the speed and the angle, a lot of them are coming in, and here they come.
Most of them coming in, but two are going to stay out. Looks like Mike Hasty, Brandon Muir are going to stay out. The 98 is going to shoot out of pit lane. And Jimmy, keep an eye on right behind Todd Merkel. We are 4 wide right there. Inside the pit box is safe. It's a safe zone. You can drive through people there, but it looks like everybody could have, that was close between our two championship competitors, 81 and 41. Everyone gets in there without any kind of issues. Now, again, this is where you need to get back out there. Mike Casey, Brandon Muir staying out one more lap. That is very nice for them. You see the drivers starting to come out of pit road. A good job, a good cluster of them. It's like the 41 going to lead the way here. The 81 still in a battle with Len McNeese, and they're going to have to get shuffled into line here pretty quick. Heading now into turn number 1 on that apron. The 81's going to back out of it. You see the cars that already pit now going around on the outside. And that should shuffle them up unless I'm mistaken here. That is the 91. Yeah, that is Sean Wilder going to be your race leader as Mike Casey, Brandon Muir now down into the pits. So we're able to save a good amount of fuel here. They're only going to have to go for 25 more laps, so they can be aggressive here at the end. But they got to get in and out. They got to get with that pack as the pack is starting to come around here. 4-car breakaway at the front, 3 of them for position. And then Michael Pratt back there just still hoping and waiting for a caution.
Yeah, so now the second group obviously wants to get around and get up to the next pack so they're not falling behind. But, I'm sure that other pack might slow down a little bit. I mean, they got a small breakaway, but, maybe you don't want to be by yourselves, unless you're going to work together closely and try to save that fuel.
But I can see, the 81 kind of maybe taking advantage of being in line and not being the car out front, even for the second group, to save that fuel, maybe what's needed to get to the end. But right now, up front, up 17 spots, biggest move of the race, the number 91 of Sean Wilder, getting things done here. Andy, bring it back there. And Pete, number 2 in that Lamborghini, the Arca A Lamborghini machine, trying to get back out there. But maybe he feels, I don't know if he feels comfortable here, knowing the fact that he can save some more, or feel better, knowing that they have 24 more laps to go, and they were in on lap number 51. So they have to stretch this thing almost 30 laps.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here, Jimmy, and I think it's a pretty sturdy limb, and I'm going to say right now that the top 3 will not make the end of the race. There's no way they're going to save 29 laps of fuel here in the car.
Don't say no way.
I will. I'm doing it. I'm stepping out there on the limb. You can stay over there on the edge of the building. I'm jumping out on that limb. I am saying they're not going to make it. So right here, this is where the battle for the win will be. And how about this? Right in the high line here, and maybe a little gamesmanship from the 41, making these drivers run around the high line and waste some fuel. Because I can't really think of any other reason why the 41 they're at the top. He just doesn't want to lead.
He doesn't want to lead, so he's going to go up there to the top side, let him pass on the inside, come down and draft, and call their bluff. 23 laps to go, and if he's looking to get in and make it, he needs to save fuel. So that's how close it is, and you can see, giving up a possible position here now could, be a race-winning move here for the 41.
Well, we are 23 laps to go right now, and I think no better time than any to step aside here, listen to these cars roar flat out around the Talladega Superspeedway. Give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here under the Love to Hear It on CRN here with the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA series. And you're seeing some strategies play out here for better or worse. You've seen your leaders at the time, Andy Brigante and Sean Wilder, just make the decision that you had to come into the pits. They came in. Tim Lee left him go in. He stayed out there, has now rejoined this field. He had about an 18, maybe more, second lead at the front. He has pretty much shut that car down to try and save fuel, and fell back to this main group here, who is now led by Len McNeese. Len McNeese is your leader. Todd Poston, Mike Hasty, Todd Merkel, and Tim Lee for your top 5. Justin Lewis, Dalton Kilroy, Andrew Palesci, Maxwell Caldwell, and Brandon Muir for your top 10. Jimmy, are you surprised that the 41 and the 81 are right behind each other one more time?
No. It's going to be a little hairy when it comes down to the end. We got 11 laps here. Well, we're working on about 10 and a half, or 11, 10 and a half, or whatever to go. It's definitely, been a race. It's been a season. And, it's going to come down to that final race for these two. And the points chase is just continuing to go back and forth. So, yeah, not surprised at all, to be honest. And everybody's doing a fantastic job. It's fun to see these strategies and people trying to stretch fuel, and can they stretch the fuel? And we're going to find out. I think we're going to have some really close ones here, but the ones that we know that are not close are back there in P11 with the 91 and the 77. No, it was good to go, but you see the 55 allowed them to go by, trying to save maybe a little more fuel.
No, the 55 did lap number 62 as well. Okay. So all three of these drivers are good to go to the end for sure. Pretty confident that the top 10 are all good to go to the end, except for Tim Lee. He needs to save a ton of fuel. He needs to make a 29 lap run here at the end. We'll see if he saved enough so far. I mean, really, the other ones, you have to wonder if the ones that pit on lap number 20 or 54 are good to go. They got to go 26 laps. We've seen it done already here tonight, so I think they should be good to go. They did a good little bit of fuel saving in the beginning of this run. So everyone in the top 10, with the exception of maybe Tim Lee, should be good to go to the end of this race on fuel. 9 laps to go. Still not go time just yet, Jimmy. We got probably another 5 laps before you really start needing to it's going to bunch this thing up. You'll start seeing them start double wide, maybe even 3 wide to get this thing underway.
Yeah, I think maybe some of the guys in the back might start thinking a little bit earlier. I think once you see, long as Dalton has the 81 behind him, I think he's happy. But if the 81 gets a move, then he's going to go. But I think, I'm not sure if the 94 would go with the 81 or not. Now you start talking about teammates and who's going to help who here. We're going to find out. It's Dega, baby.
Yeah, and I think it's at the point here where if you're Andrew Palesci, I feel like you have to make the move first. You have to trap Dalton Kilroy down there on the bottom in hopes that you can get a run, whether it's even behind somebody trying to run your way to the front. I mean, that would be just as well. I mean, even if he doesn't win the race, it wouldn't be like him to win the race anyway. As long as he gets up there in the top 3 and ahead of the 41, that's really got to be the goal here to finish this thing out. We got what we wanted, and I think the drivers got what they wanted. They got a green race so far all the way. The first 73 laps are in the books. 7 laps to go here at Dega. Already see some cars there, lap cars getting past there. On the outside is Eric Blunt and Hemi Giardini going down another lap here as they're going to tag on to the back of this field. But at the front right now, it's actually the 66 and the 02. They are on the lead lap, but only because they are directly in front of the leaders.
Oh, they got a whole lap to go.
So they're still waiting to get 7 laps to go when these drivers right behind them are going to be on 6 to go. And we'll see if they end up playing a part in the finish of this race. I think another one, I'm pretty confident that both the drivers, if they get late in the race with the last couple laps to go, they'll probably pull out of the way and let these drivers race to the end of it, knowing that they can't get back on the lead lap. But we'll see how this thing unfolds here. Still everyone playing nice. Everyone still single file. 31 looking out a little bit, looking to see if there's any takers to join them out there. And looks like the 7 of Justin Lewis going to step out. And just like that, going to step back in as Len McNeese goes to the outside. He's going to pick up the 31, but it's going to give the lead to Mike Hasty on the inside now, with the 2 of Todd Merkel in second place. Wondering if and when the second line is going to start really forming up. Nothing just yet. 5 to go.
Len McNeese stepping to the outside, hoping to pick up some people or get that opportunity, but only the 31 out there. And right now, in order to get any kind of help on that outside, you really got to kind of side draft, and it can get a little sketchy. But now Dalton Kilrow.
Now what do you do if you're Andrew Pulesci? Do you follow the 41? I think he almost kind of has to, and then just has to try and sneak attack at the end. But the 41 doing a fantastic job with the side draft, working up there. And there you go. There go the lap cars down into the pits, allowing the driver to run 3 wide here at the front. Kilrow trying to make it work all the way on the outside. The 7 pushing the 2 on the inside. Here comes the 81 of Pulesci's fantastic shove there into turn number 1. And how about this? The top 2 drivers in the point standings, really the top 3 right now, are in line on the outside. But does Andrew Pulesci make a move at any point? Whoa. To leave the one hanging, as that was a move right there that didn't work out too well.
Getting down there, like I said, they need, in order to get that outside line, they need to get that side draft. And Andrew Pulesci is going to either push Kilrow out front or, just hang to that back bumper, because as soon as Kilrow can drop down to the bottom, he's going to, I would believe he would leave the 81 to take that line. So we'll see if he's going to maintain that high line or what.
See a little gap forming in between the 81 and 41, but Pulesci no chance to make a move right now. 3 laps to go. Still plenty of time.
That was a nice push.
Yeah, that was a little tasty right there. Is getting down towards the end here. And I mean, what kind of way that would throw everything into the mix if we end up getting a late race caution, a green-white checkered. Everyone would have to come back down into the pits.
Oh, yeah.
To get fuel. But as it stands, we are still green. The cars dance around here a little bit. The outside line hasn't been fully able to get up to the front just yet. Now the 2 of Merkel moves to the outside, and pretty vicious right there, but they're going to pick up the 2 on the outside. The 81 dancing around a little bit. 2 laps to go. Man, this thing is, can you tell it's starting to amp up here a little bit?
Just a little bit. 2 laps to go. So, still 5 miles, but the driver's out here trying to battle it out. And, it's kind of hard. Even though the Andrew Pulesci is right behind Dalton Kilrow, you have 2 cars on the inside. It could be the fact that, depending on this way it works out, there's gonna have more than 1 car in between me, Andrew Pulesci and Dalton Kilrow. So definitely going to be interesting here to see what they're going to do. Andrew Pulesci goes to the outside, now leaving Todd Merkel and Dalton Kilrow to the high side.
And here we go, starting to mix it up here. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go at Talladega. Pulesci weighing his options right now, trying to figure out what he wants to do. Doesn't want to get trapped down at the bottom, so he moves to the top line again. Before I forget, I want to thank our sponsors here for the series, for Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hillen Crafts and Designs, and Goldline Guardians for all their support here for the series. But we're down the backstretch now. 1 more lap to go. On the inside, Justin Lewis looking to go 2 for 2 on his comeback run. But on the outside, Todd Merkel getting pushed by the 41. The 81 now doing a little pushing as well, maybe trying to shove the 41 up out of the way. Not going to happen just yet. Out of the final corner here. It's almost 3 wide. The 41 gets shoved in there. He's going to drop back to 81 into the wall, still bumping and banging. and your leaders are going to crash at the line. It's going to be Justin Lewis. What a finish to this one here. 200ths of a second, I believe, is the distance in between first and second. Over Todd Merkel, Todd Poston in third. Brandon Muir, Mike Hasty for your top 5. Andrew Pileshi is going to get it home in 6th. Dalton Kilrow with a meatball here at the end. It's a qualifying results there.
Not.
It's not official, Jimmy.
Not official yet. I was pressing the button. I was pressing play. I got checking flags.
As it stands, the way it looks, Dalton Kilrow is going to finish in 12th position, 6 places below Andrew Pileshi. What a shakeup in the points at the end. We'll take a look back and watch the ending of this race here once again. But before we do, we'll take a look at the final results here. Jimmy, while I catch my breath here a little bit and get these guys in here, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's finishing order?
Another wild finish at Talladega. Everybody trying to get points, everybody trying to get a spot, everybody trying to, win. Justin Lewis winner again here tonight in the 7 over Todd Merkel by a mere 0.006. And then Todd Poston right there with him with a 0.070. So real close for those top 3. Brandon Muir will finish in 4th. And then Mike Hasty will finish in 5th. Andrew Pileshi in 6th. Andy Biggett back there in 7th. Sean Wilder in 8th. Tim Lee finishes in 9th. Maxwell Caldwell in 10th. Len McNeese in 11th. Dalton Kilrow back in 12th. Eric Blount and Michael Pratt. Gordon Larson. Tyler Hilton. John Garrett. And Hemi Gardini here tonight. Along with, it looks like Michael Taylor, I think, is in 19th. Let me check. Yep, Michael Taylor back there in 19th. So, tough break for a few drivers, and we're going to go back and we're going to try to catch this ending here for everybody and kind of debunk what happened. So we'll go ahead and clear this out of the way, and then we'll find out what's going on here.
Probably need a blimp view to see everything that actually went down here. But here you go. This is coming down the backstretch. This is out of the turn, heading down towards the travel. You see the 41 try to peek to the inside, gets into Len McNeese and Todd Merkel. And right there, Andrew Pileshi got to be worried about what's going on. He gets into the back of the 2 and then into the wall. The 31 gets turned sideways a bit, but what a save by Todd Poston to get a 3rd place finish here tonight. The 81 just kind of run on the wall. You see the 41 of Kilrow can bounce around like a pinball. Right there, Caldwell into the wall, Len McNeese, Eric Blunt into the wall as a couple of them go up on their sides and maybe up and over as well. Yeah, right there, Len McNeese. Maybe finishing this race on his roof. Did he get to the line? Did the 6 at least push him to the line? I guess it's... if he did, this is
he gets style points for sure.
Right here. Come on, get there. Get there.
It's so close.
It's not going to make it.
There's the checker there. No.
Oh, no. That is an absolute shame.
Get out and crawl.
Might need to join him there and race him back to the line. But what a crazy finish for this one. And, man, there you go. There's a look at shame maybe there for Len McNeese. Maybe did he get a little help there? Oh no, that's the rewind. Okay.
Yeah, no, I want you guys get right on board with Len McNeese here for the end and just everything going real quick as the car goes out of control, upside down, nothing but bumper and crunching as that car slides on its hood.
So Sparks and looking for that checkered line, and unfortunately not.
He's like, did I make it? Did I make it? What a tough break for the 84. Not.
And that's gonna feel even worse. All the other cars roar, but were those the other cars?
Did I make it?
Yeah.
Mom, did I? Where's I've seen that meme where you know, the car in the air flying. Oh, from Talladega Nights.
Yes, yep,
Definitely
yep.
the Talladega Night here for the 84 of Len McNeese. It's
Yeah, right now.
yeah, definitely he can meme that one all he wants.
94 kind of went up in the air there as well with Maxwell Caldwell, but we'll get our top drivers in here. Trying to see if we got Todd Boston. Looks like no, not seeing him just yet. I thought he was in here. Trying to shoot him one more message here. But I mean, this was a wild and crazy finish for sure to finish this one out. And I want to thank once again Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs, and Goldline Guardians for sponsorship here for the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA series. As this was the penultimate round, we got one more round yet coming up next week at Dover. But let's go ahead and get to interviews. Looks like we might not have Todd Posson here to start this thing, so we'll go ahead and jump right into the second place here. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our second place finisher, and it's going to be the 2 of Todd Merkel.
Hey, Todd, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. It's good to have that number 2 up here in the booth. You know, we get plenty of shout outs for yourself and Merkel Racing Engine. So it's just definitely wanted to get a chance to talk to you. As tonight, obviously, Dega, you know, the race that everybody loves, everybody hates, as it's so white knuckle here for 80 full laps, pretty much green the entire time. Great pit stops and whatnot, but for the majority of the field. But you find yourself in a great position and eluded that kind of mayhem behind you here, and you walk away second place. So give us a little rundown on how everything was for you, how your pit stops were, and you know, was there any crazy moments that you thought maybe it could be the end of the night?
Well, about the first 80 laps of that race were crazy. I am mentally exhausted right now. I can't even tell you. We had so many things to consider. While, I mean, everybody was like really, really, really tight on gas mileage. You had to get, with no yellows, you had to get your pit stops right. You could not afford any kind of mistake. And, you know, me and my teammates, Justin and Maxwell and Andrew Paleschi, we're all trying to kind of work together, and we're all comparing our fuel numbers. And when you really get racy, then it's all about managing your engine temperatures. There's a lot going on in these cars at Talladega.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that the average driver or somebody that hasn't been in them does not realize here. It's not as easy as just turning a little bit left and keep it in a straight line, that's for sure. But you know, you did what you needed to do. Your teammates were there to kind of help support, like you said, back and forth, at least until that final lap where you put out the elbows and they're pretty much on their own, unless you're pushing each other to try to work your way on the outside or something. But great run there by the 2. Just so from CRN and everybody out there, man, the fans and all that stuff that out there rooting for you, congratulations. We want to give you some time for any shout outs that you might have on that number 2 as well.
Well, first, I want to thank you guys for doing an outstanding broadcast. I don't get to talk to you as often as I would like to, so this is a real treat. I want to thank Tim Lee and VVR for running this organization. What a fantastic league it is. I really enjoy it. I want to thank my teammates again, Justin Lewis, Max Caldwell, Andrew Paleschi. I'm having so much fun racing with these guys week after week. And I guess I want to thank Merkel Racing Engines. It's a real engine building shop. I do stock cars and drag car engines and so forth. Ross Pistons, use them in my real race car. And I got them on the door of this too. Driven Oil. And yeah, Liberty's Gears. They help me out on the real race car stuff too. So I think it's kind of fun to promote them here as well.
Yeah, it's nothing like having, you know, being able to take some real life sponsors and throw them on your virtual car here and support them here, as you know, when they get on screen, and you know, small niche of fans and racers that come back and watch us on here on YouTube. So, but either way, you look good out there. It was a great run, and you finished great here tonight. So again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thanks so much. You guys have a good evening.
You too.
That is your second place finisher, and certainly long overdue for the two of Todd Merkel getting up here in the booth with a great second place finish here tonight. The one that finished in first, and maybe the one making the most enemies, is the 7 of Justin Lewis. Justin, not only did you come back and win last week, you come and go back to back now here, and maybe you need to take months off all the time. It seems to be working out here pretty well for you.
Apparently, I don't know. Maybe it's the curse of the next gen for me at this point or something. But I had a bad week. We didn't race last night for some other circumstances, obviously, and they moved that race to next week. So I don't know. Maybe it is something with getting away from the next gen. But yeah, maybe I like this car. Maybe we should go back to. We should just all run this car.
Yeah, I'm afraid that I don't know if you guys were voting yet for next season if you're going to move up to the new ARCA car, which the new ARCA car is nice. I've had a chance to run it a little bit, and it is fun, especially on the dirt. I'll just throw that out there. But
man, I haven't got to test it on dirt. Now that I forgot that they even do that. So yeah, as a dirt kid, I need to go do that. But no, those things were tight for a while, and I heard something on the update that they did free them up a little bit, so maybe they're better. But I heard rumors of possibly this place going to the B car possibly for their next season, so that's a fun car. Don't get to run it very often. I mean, I hardly run officials anymore, period, but if I do see something I like that is a car I gravitate to, because it's a driver's car. It's a fun car to wheel around, just like this one, even being low horsepower and stuff. Like Phoenix last week, you had to drive it a little bit. I mean, there was parts where it was pretty self-explanatory, but like, it's a driving car. Like, you actually have to put a little effort into it. You could be straight with the wheel and kind of drift the rear of this thing, and versus the next gen where if you twitch the car, you're exploded. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to see where we're going to go. I know my big deal on Wednesday, if I end up getting eliminated at my best track on the sim for me, which is Bristol next week, I might just say screw that for the rest of the season, because it'll be pure defeat and just run this deal over here. So
yeah, exactly. I mean,
I don't know.
One more race next week for you guys here in this season at Dover, but I know Tim Lee's already got a 9-race season cooking up that we're going to be covering here on CRN. So I want to thank him for that as well, for bringing us on board for that. But I mean, it's got to feel good to get back here with these boys, because it was 80 laps of green flag running at Talladega. It doesn't happen that often, and if it happens more often than not, it's going to happen right here at VVR.
Yeah, that's there's one thing you can count on with this group of guys, is that they usually do a really good job keeping the show relatively clean. I think I've been in maybe 1 or 2 races ever, like in my whole span of running this league, that's been maybe more than 4 or 5 cautions. Other than that, you could just pay 2 things: green flag racing and freaking fuel saving. So that definitely played into tonight. If I had one thing I could say, is like not make it so it's to the wire each race. I don't know what the fuel percentage is, if it's 50, if it's 40, whatever. I'd assume it's probably at least 60% or something, but I don't hate that. It's just, so when you're at Talladega, you want to race, man. Like, I wanted to be 3 wide and having fun. And then that first stint, that was kind of the game plan. I was like, I'll just try to find where I want to go. And I found the outside, which I'm big on the top anywhere I go anyway. And I looked down at the fuel number. I was like, that's not going to work out very well. I just kind of faded into the back for a minute. And
Tim, if you're out there listening, don't listen to Justin here, because we love it up here. We love seeing all the gamesmanship being played. And no, I don't want to lead. You go ahead and lead. I'll let you lead a little bit.
Oh my God!
And go back and forth. And
that
see
was
whoever take the extreme high line. Like, wait a second, hold on, what's going on here?
So
fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm out of fuel sitting on the front stretch right here, and I was contemplating, like, do I like, we were going so slow, like, there for a minute I was getting concerned, like, if those guys pit, they may get back out ahead of us anyway. So I mean, there was a point and then they finally, like, they realized like how bad off they were, so they were like 4 seconds off the pace for like 2 or 3 laps, and then we blew by them. And there for a minute, like Dalton ended up in the lead, and then you could tell like he didn't want to lead because he was close on fuel. And then Todd got to the lead, and I was trying to tell him like, "Hey, Todd, don't do that right now." he bails out of lead for a minute, and then like everyone tried to follow each other. It's like no. So then at one point, I think we were going like 160 down the backstretch. Like everyone just trying to shuffle around. Like, no, you go ahead. It's fine. No, you go ahead. Like at a four-way stop. And
race I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like sitting at a four-way stop, and no, you go. No, you go. No, go ahead, man. You're fine. And that's what it felt like there for a couple laps. So. No, all in all, the last 3 laps were pretty fun, and the beginning was fun, but I don't know. Single file stuff is more like, okay, what do we do here? Like, should we just hang out? So, we basically for a period of time there, we were just shooting the bull for most of that race. I mean, we were basically, well, how are you guys on fuel? Are you pretty close? Are we on the same lap? Okay, cool. And that's where we went. So,
one-handed it shots during the race because
yeah. Literally, I started coughing there. Thank God it's Talladega, but I had a weird tickle going on in the throat, so I started coughing. I was trying to open up a bottle of water. I damn near had to go get up and get a bottle of water. I just would have been like, fine, I'll just keep my foot on the gas here.
Yep. Yeah, just put a break there and you come back.
Yeah. But no, it's fun. Talladega's always fun. This group's fun. You guys make the broadcast great. Tim does an excellent job. I mean, the things he does are like second to none compared to anybody I've ever seen for a league. Like the dude does way more than anybody could ask. I mean, not very often do you get in a league that puts money up for guys without you having to pay quite a bit of money up to do it. So just shout out to him. He does a lot of work to keep this thing moving in the right direction, and excited to see what I can do from here. Sadly, I probably will miss Dover, which is probably a blessing in disguise for most of these guys, because if I start getting comfortable in this car, I don't know what's going to happen. So
I want to go for the three-peat. All right. I understand it. Well, either way, it was a pleasure to have you back out here again and right back up here for the last interview one more time for the win here tonight. So congrats on back-to-back wins. Before we let you go and get out of here for the season, who do you want to give a shout-out to or thanks to?
Yeah, again, you guys and Tim, like I said, without him, we wouldn't be able to come out and have fun and race for a little money on a sim of all things. It's good to go back to you guys and go back and watch broadcasts as always. You guys do a great job. Shout out to Todd with Merkle Racing Engines. He put it on the pole with another good motor build tonight. Not only just my awesome talent of qualifying, or the hardest places to qualify at, but
second qualifying.
Yeah. This is we the first one was just test. So that was our test motor. We didn't like it. Did some Dale Earnhardt tune-ups and got her fired up for the second one. So yeah. So we liked that motor better and ran that. But no, Todd, I don't have it on this car because, like I said, I'd never run this car. But everything else has got Todd Merkle Racing Engines across the hood. So shout out to him, Max, Andrew. I don't know if I keep winning, I don't know if I'm helping or hurting him. I don't know, but I'm trying to just keep car count up. I know how this stuff gets toward the end of the season. You get lower cars, and finishes don't quite matter as much. So I know they're close. I don't know the point battle. I think last time I checked at Phoenix, he may have been like 4 points ahead of him or something. Yeah. So
there's 4 coming in, and it's going to probably be 4 points the other way after this one with the finish here tonight.
Yeah, and if I know anything about Dover and me and Andrew's history at Dover, at least, I hate that place, even though I'm a big short track guy, and I think Andrew's not a big fan of it either. At least for the next gen, this car's probably way more fun than that turd is over there. So hopefully it's a good race. I'll try to tune into the broadcast. If you see me in the chat, I'll say what's up, and I'll get out of here.
All right, buddy. Well, once again, congrats on the win here, back-to-back nights, or back-to-back weeks, I should say, here in the 7. So congrats. Take some time, celebrate, and we'll see you hopefully next season, maybe the little 9-race season that we got coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, if depending on how long that season takes to start and how long it takes for this Wednesday deal to finish, I'm trying to keep myself to 2 leagues. So if I get to 3, my wife may start packing her bags. So
I just like Jimmy, we're up here Sunday through Thursday. So.
Yeah.
You want to talk about racing? We got you covered.
There we go.
Literally.
Yeah.
All right, we'll let you go and get out of here and celebrate, and then we'll see you hopefully soon.
Thanks, boys. We'll see you later.
Is your winner here tonight, the 7 of Justin Lewis, getting it done back-to-back weeks here Well, I said it before the race. It was down to 2. Now it's down to 1. 1 race left in the season. It's all going to come down to Dover and who Miles the Monster favors more, or as Jimmy liked to call him last night, Monster the Miles. We'll see. We'll see who can get it done there, as the points most likely will flip-flop. As coming into tonight's race, it was Dalton Kilroe up by 4, Andrew Pileshi. It's probably going to go almost the exact opposite way for Dover, because Pileshi finishing here tonight in 6th, surprisingly out of the podium. So I'm sure that's what's going to hurt him the most here tonight. And even though he may carry the points lead into Dover, he's still going to be sad here tonight. Didn't get to talk to us up here. So understandably. Kilroe finishing back there in 12th, 6 months behind because of getting caught up in that wreck on the last lap. But that's what Talladega can do. Even though we had 80 laps of green flag racing, we still had a big one at the end. But that is going to do it for myself and Jimmy here in the CRN booth. We still got racing going on over in the Core GT Series with their 2-hour season finale. So if you're looking for some more racing before you head to bed, check out Alan and Jack over there for the season finale at Twin Ring Motegi. I think by there. As we're going to crown 4 new champions in Core tonight. But for us here in VVR, we got to wait till next week to crown a champion, because it is still tight in the points battles. For myself and Jimmy here from the Talladega Superspeedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.